have only seen in dreams in my unconscious mind. My dreams unrefined, spring to mind, a state of mind that make it seem this lucky life of mine is pre-designed. And if it is, then thank the Lord, cause that's the mastermind. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
The onset of fall weather, certainly a welcome occurrence for folks in Silicon Valley, and we've got football on a gorgeous day here in Santa Clara as we are situated at Levi's Stadium. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They're going to bury him in the backfield. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. Here's Carson. So they get half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 6 upcoming. Now this defense for the Niners, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A big connection on that one. 33 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6.
Well, on every call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown, so a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later, and let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now a handoff as they run left side. Breaks the tackle, he's got room to run, and all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Just a terrific run there, Charles, from a running back who is so compact and powerful, and that strength was on display there.
And that, in a nutshell, shows you what this guy's made of. I mean, most guys in the NFL just can't do that. He absorbed the contact, refocused himself, and made a break for the end zone.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. First carry now for Trey Sermon. Sermon with space, a first down and then some. And finally down at the 32-yard line. 43 yards on the ground for him so far. Well, we have seen some rookie running backs come in and have a big impact year one, and this guy would certainly fit that bill, as that was one heck of a run there. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 27, Lance. That's complete out left to Ayuk. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 12-yard line. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. And Lance going to throw. To the right side, it's caught by Mitchell. Touchdown, 49ers. Elijah Mitchell, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the 49ers are within an extra point of tying this thing up. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that will tie our score here in this opening quarter of play. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
So they give up the completion there. But defensively, Charles, you're going up against a quarterback here who's had some moments, but really a lot of ups and downs in the early part of his career. What's the plan against a guy like this?
Well, you want to rattle him first and foremost. Bring some people at him, a couple extra guys in the pocket, see if he can handle it. The second thing.
And now the rookie's free. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Seahawks have taken the lead. Seeing some pretty good offense here in this first quarter.
It's been a wild start to this quarter, as you noted. And now with that lead that we're seeing, can they retaliate? I get the sense this one's going to go back and forth all game long.
And that probably won't be the last long touchdown that we see in this one. Extra point up and through by Myers. And that makes the score 14-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in sync on that one. He spotted the open gap in the zone, and his quarterback found him, and they get a first down.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. The defense was ready for the run-pass option, diagnosed it perfectly.
Not only did they stack him up at the point of attack, but he was met by a host of light-colored jerseys.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. They'll try the left side. It's Mitchell. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th. So on 4th down, here's the Australia native Mitch Wishnowsky to punt this one away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. So possession goes over here on the punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Now, right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
Now, this rivalry, Charles, the Seahawks and Niners, really one of the best in the NFL. So many great games in the last decade or so between these two. Where does this one rank for you in terms of best rivalries of, let's say, the 21st century?
I'm so glad you phrased it.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off at the 23. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake. Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
He will push his way down to about the 14. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Pardon me, you know I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And Gold is able to put it through. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports. Fielded just outside the goal line. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
From the gun, he'll hand this off. And he'll go down at the 26, following a gain of 6.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Locke going to try and throw on third down. He lets it fly from Lockett. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. On fourth down, ready to punt, Michael Dixon. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A good work bringing that one back as he picks up about 16 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense. 1st and 10. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. On first down, it's Mitchell. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Lance's throw complete here to Ayuk. Touchdown, 49ers! For Brandon Ayuk, he is as electric as they come with the ball in his
hands in the open field, and he turns that catch into big yardage.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
Gold with the extra point, and it's now 17-14. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
At their own 22-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Throwing now is Locke.
And this pass broken up. And the contact well timed there, and now fourth down.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the second time. Pulled in at the 24. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Dances by him. A gain of 6 there on first.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Here's Lance to throw it.
This one caught by Kittle. And some room to maneuver. Touchdown! George Kittle, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
And 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Gould able to tack on the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away.
Taken in at the 3.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They're down now 24-14. Work to do as they come up on a 1st and 10. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
From the 27, Locke. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. Now Locke. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a 1st down.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 120 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. A good run, got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. They fake the handoff, now Locke. And he's taken in by the tight end Fant. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Nice play call, a little bit of play action right there. If you can get those linebackers to freeze for just a split second, that's usually all the room you need in order to get it to your tight end.
Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Locke. And he comes back with one complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 14.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks have made this a one-score game. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You could never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Play action, now it's Lance. Flush to his right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Sidney Jones. And the Seahawks are going to have it here just past the 25. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. Javon Kinlaw gets him for a loss of 8. What great push up front. Well behind the sticks here with a 2nd and 18. Another try after the first down sack. Lock. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up third down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. This time they stay on the ground. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the first. They do get 10 back, but still a ways to go on fourth. And here's Dixon to punt now as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to catch our breath as we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Here's Jonathan Coachman.
With both of these offenses having their way, it's not likely they'll need to be doing a whole lot at halftime. But the defenses are definitely in need of some adjusting. And for the call of the second half, let's go back out to Brandon and Charles.
Yeah, Coach, certainly no shortage of action in those first two quarters. Definitely got to work on my touchdown calls, so we'll see how much voice I have left for the second half here.
It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. They'll run on first down. Mitchell. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Lance looking to throw it.
Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got him bumped down, says the side judge. And that's good enough for a first down.
Throwing on first down is Lance. That's over the middle and caught by Ayuk.
They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And it'll be 2nd and very short.
Now Lance.
His throw incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well. Running lanes run a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Right back to him on first down. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Shotgun now for Lance. He'll dump that one off to Mitchell.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up a 3rd down.
Brings up 3rd and 3.
Here's a handoff out of the gun.
And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Oh, Gold missed it. It's no good. Wide to the left, off the mark, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. Second down.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Lock. This is the tight end fan. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end. A guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. Dre Greenlaw in there on the tackle.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Block now to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Charvarius Ward. And the Niners are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun, and he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one, and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing his Lance on 3rd down. Escaping the pressure right. And Lance will have the first down as he's able to slide to avoid the contact there at the end of the play.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first.
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Elijah Mitchell with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Niners are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this third quarter. Gold with the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to 11. After the touchdown, it's Robbie Gould now to kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
2nd and 8. Here's Locke to throw. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Seahawks. For Drew Lock coming out of Missouri, the one thing that scouts they loved was his arm strength, and we see why there.
And as that ball was hanging in the air with the receiver streaking downfield to meet it, here in the stadium, you could just sense the crowd thinking, oh no! And the worst fears were realized as that one turned into a long touchdown.
They'll try and run it here. So unable throw it in for 2 from the 2. Let me ask you, as a former DB, what changes there around the goal line on a 2-point conversion as far as how you're defending?
You just make sure you never back up and you never retreat. You establish yourself really on the line of scrimmage, put your heels on the goal line at worst. And if they're going to throw the ball, make them throw it over your head because they're going to run out of space because of the back of the end zone. Never let a guy catch one in front of you.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. On first down, Mitchell. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Meanwhile, the throw here's complete.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on 1st and 2nd downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Mitchell, and he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's Lance. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down. Here comes the 49ers punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Good coverage there. An even 50-yard punt leads to a return of 5. And it'll be Seahawk football 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And you sense the tide turning. They scored, then their defense forced the punt, and now a chance to ultimately take the lead here late. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
I usually hesitate when I say a guy's got world-class speed, but this guy might. So let's fire the starter's pistol. Let's go. If you've got him, you've got to try and use him. A lot of anticipation with the ball in the air, but no, incomplete.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken at around the 40. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. Meanwhile, Lance's throw taken in by Samuel. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
These guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the 4th quarter.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Mitchell. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game against them, but tally that one on the side of the defense.
Do you think maybe, possibly, it could be a little bit of a changer for them? Maybe not a game changer, but a little bit of a momentum one that maybe they can string together some pretty good plays and slow them down.
Oh, that'll be incomplete. Oh, he took a shot as he let that go, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. The Niners on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Lance. He lets this one fly toward the back of the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. The kick by Gold is good, and that'll push the lead up to 8.
So that gets him a little bit of breathing room, but not much. And you have to think back to the field goal that he missed earlier. This would be a 2-score game right now if he had converted then.
And if you and I are thinking about it, you know he is as well, because in the back of his mind, he's thinking, I hope I get one more shot in an important spot. He just made that one. He wants one more later to truly make up for the earlier miss.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And remember, despite giving up the field goal, this is still a 1-score game. They're in need of the touchdown and a 2-point conversion. A field goal on this drive likely doesn't do them much good. 158 yards rushing for him now, as he has been tremendous all day long.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. Now they try the right side here. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Here comes a big one as this crowd gets up making some noise. It's 3rd and short. He's got his tight end fan. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Lock's throw caught here by Metcalf.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Nice throw. Big man catches the football for a first down, and that big man, that's DK Metcalf, the 9th receiver taken in the 2019 draft class. I think if we redid it, he might very well be the first one off the board. 83 catches for 1,300 yards last year.
He's going to go up top for the end zone. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball who just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And running with power here. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And they're knocking on the door. 2nd and goal now in a 1-score game. On 2nd and goal, Lock, the quick slant caught. 5 yards that time on the completion, and now it's 3rd and goal.
And a lot of people ask the same question all the time. Why do we see so many slants in the red zone? Well, the windows are tighter. Everything's more condensed. It has to be quicker, and you've got to deliver the ball on time. Your biggest worry, ball gets tipped in the air, because if that happens, then it's fair game for the defense.
The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take this one in for the Seattle touchdown. Nick Ballore, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Seahawks have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th.
All right, now a big 2-point conversion attempt still to come. They'll try and run it in. And he he's going to get into the end zone. The two-point conversion successful, and we've got ourselves a tie football game. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter.
Taking it about the 1. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that. And they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Oh, he'll look downfield for Kittle.
That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to third down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10.
Lance looks to throw again. Pass complete, Samuel.
And he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away. I see you nodding your head up and down. It's a very heady decision at this stage of the game. Out of the pocket, nowhere to go. Just get rid of it.
That's a smart play because you're not worried about your completion percentage, and you're also not trying to force it into bad traffic as well. Throw the ball away, live to fight another down.
And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
From the gun on third down, Lance.
Eluding the pressure right. And this is going to be intercepted.
Jordan Brooks with it.
And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Making back-to-back weeks now with a pick 6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick 6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room.
Taken at the goal line. And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he is across and in for the score. And now they can tie the game in the final stages with the extra point.
Or they can go for 2 and go for the win.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we may very well be headed to overtime. Set to go now with the kickoff. These two teams all even again as we continue in this wild fourth quarter. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have a little bit of time here to get into field goal range. Not much. A tie game, you don't want to do anything crazy, right?
I agree with you on that one. Risk reward, okay? If you go for it, what is the absolute reward on this? But the risk is probably greater. Run the clock out, get to overtime, and try and win it there.
All right, we'll see if they do just that. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
On first down, Mitchell. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. Now a first throw here in overtime. Taking a shot for Samuel. He's got a man complete. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A huge play there in overtime. A real field flipper there, as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And he'll give it here to his running back. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
97 yards rushing for him now as he was just trying to will his guys to an overtime victory.
On first and goal, they'll try the option left. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. What were they clicking on offense?
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for San Francisco, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Arizona Cardinals.